Hello, I'm Adam Paul Morgan. Thank you for clicking onto what is my little review of Spider-Man Homecoming Blu-ray, which was released yesterday in the UK. I'm reviewing it today because it was a late delivery. But here we go. Yes, it does come with the cardboard sleeve, which is a complete replica of the case. Now, inside, this was very interesting when I got to open it up. It made me go, oh, hello, was the actual disc, the Black Spidey suit. We all know what that means. And I don't mean from the Spider-Man 3 film, I mean from the cartoon back in the day. But here's something that's very, very interesting inside a comic book film or Blu-ray. An actual comic book tells the story of Spider-Man and Shocker. Very, very interesting. I enjoyed reading that. And you think, wow, this is a comic book inside a comic book film. I don't recall any of the others doing that. Interesting. But special features. Now, before I go on to special features, I have to talk about the film. I had done it in the previous video, but I'm going to talk about it again. On the back of this, looking at there, it's got all the information on. That picture there, I think that pretty much sums up this Spider-Man more and the story of Spider-Man than the front cover there. Very down to earth. I know it's been brought into the MC universe now, this Spider-Man, and you got Robert Downey Jr. in with Tony Stark playing the sort of role model for Peter Parker, etc., or the father figure. But going through the actual film, it was like it dips into the Marvel universe when it needs to, but comes out to tell the Spider-Man story. And I thought that was really, really good. And Michael Keaton, possibly the best MCU villain so far. That's debatable, but in my opinion, I think he's done a very, very good performance, because we all know why, don't we? Because he's Batman. But moving back onto the special features, now there's loads of special features, and what was nice when I put the disc in and started watching this, there's a little introduction by Tom Holland that says, by all means, check out the special features, particularly the gag reel, which are very, very funny. It doesn't just include the main stars mucking up their lines and doing things wrong and things like that. They even got one or two of the sort of supporting roles, all the teachers, particularly within the school, who are also mucking their lines up as well, which makes me think, hold on, you're professionals and you're being paid subliminal quite a lot of money to perform these things. Don't you think you should learn your lines before you turn up? That's what makes me think. But going on to other speeches, which is a really good one. It's not like a director's commentary, it's something different. You can watch the film on this Blu-ray, and there's these little icons that pop up during the film that gives you information, sort of backstory of things like that, you know, that goes on. For example, there's a shot where Peter Parker's just walking through school very earlier on in the film, and a little thing pops up and says, in the background there's a painting of all the scientists and things like that. But if you look closely, it does have Tony Stark's dad in there as well, for sort of famous scientists. And I thought that was very, very clever. I didn't pick up on it, for this has been the third time watching the film. I only just picked up of it because of these sort of like little pop-up things that are very, very interesting indeed. I didn't watch the entire film, but I imagine I will be very, very long soon. So that was very interesting to sort of watch the film. But of course, watch the film before you watch these pop-up things if you haven't done it already. Now, deleted scenes, there's a lot of them in there. A few I'm going to talk about, but some that are not very, bit dull, and you can sort of see why they ended up in deleted scenes, etc. But there's some, for example, the extended edition of the film by Peter Parker, where he goes off with Iron Man to help defeat Captain America in Civil War. That bit there, there's an extended scene, very, very funny, and I can see why that was majority of that was cut, because of the flow of the film at the start of the film. You didn't really want to do too much to start off with, but yeah, very, very interesting, very funny as well. Now, one sort of thing about Marvel films is always what goes on at the end of the end credits. You know, people don't exactly just get up and leave as soon as the credits start rolling. No, it's a well-known fact. But this here just goes through all the sort of the Captain America Rapping with Caps, where he goes through this sort of information videos. There's lots of them, and yes, they're all just as cheesy as each other, but very, very funny to watch. Okay, what else is there? The last one I'm going to talk about for the deleted scenes is the high school news, and it just shows, yeah, I'd done that sort of thing when I was at school and through college and things like that. Yeah, it does show how bad things were, how it's edited, how it's done, how it's put together as a high school news report. Yeah, just as bad. I remember those days. I was drunk for most of it, but going on. Okay, now for the gamers out there, I'm a gamer, I'm going on for. It's a little video on for the PlayStation 4 game, which is supposed to be coming out next year, but it'll probably get delayed again. But information about the film, I've already seen this elsewhere on the internet, but it's on the Blu-ray for the PS4 game, and it uses captured using the PS4 Pro, etc. So, but it looks really, really good, telling that story of an older Spider-Man. Okay, there's the Homecoming VR trailer. For PlayStation VR owners. Haven't really got much to just show the video of what you can do. It looks very interesting, but also looks very pixelated as well. But there we go. Now, the stunts with Spidey. This was a probably interesting thing to watch going through on how Tom Holland was basically what he could do other than his acting ability, which is brilliant, is all his gymnastics and dancing. So he's very sort of good on his toes. He can jump around. You know, what they were saying in this feature was that Tom Holland does nearly all the stuff. You know, he's there with the ping pong balls on his shoulder. Motion capture, I'm supposed to call it now, but I still call it the ping pong balls on there. Going through, and it was really, that was an eye-opener, because I didn't think it was him, but yes, apparently it was, according to the Blu-ray. So there's loads of special features on there. There's loads of features about, you know, the Vulture, how they cast him and all that, how it was all, this Spider-Man story is intertwined with the Marvel universe and finding Spider-Man, you know, Tom Holland for the audition, a couple of audition tapes and things like that. But really interesting film, and actually I really enjoyed the special features on this one compared to some of the other Blu-rays that I've done in the past, so it was really worth watching, and I would recommend this one as well, particularly if you have a big grown-up, or I should say someone who's big and not exactly grown up. They all love this film. It's great. Fun for the whole family, this film is, and particularly with that festive thing coming up round the corner, perfect time to get your hands on this Blu-ray. So there we go. I'm Adam Paul Morgan. Thank you very much for watching. Ta-ra a bit, and have a good one.